What's up, guys? So today I was taking a walk. Yeah, let's get some scenery in there. Taking a walk through the woods, kind of thinking, and I wanted to make a video. Came up with the idea that I wanted to make a video about what that could kind of explain to people what ENTPs act like when they like someone, because sometimes we can be a little bit hard to understand, and I know people are. This is kind of a hot topic, relationships and MBTI, and I don't feel like there's a lot of information, especially from the point of view of ENTPs out there about this. So I can give my personal accounts, my personal experiences as kind of a way to provide, hopefully, some more insight into ENTPs and how we do things and how we think. So, yeah, and I apologize in advance because I'm probably going to keep walking while I do this video, so it's going to be a little shaky, so I'm sorry if that bothers you. Now, moving on, me personally, hopefully other ENTPs can relate to most of this. Me personally, the first thing I do when I like a girl is I will observe her and kind of be attentive to her as a person, to kind of get to know her before I even approach her, before I even talk to her. Kind of observe her, the way she interacts with other people, her environment, kind of gauging her intelligence. And that's a big thing. Most ENTPs are not going to be staring at a girl and just gawking at her physical features and attributes, because they realize that that is a really dumb thing to do. And if they have any social intelligence whatsoever, they probably realize that when you do that, your chances of actually getting with a girl go down. They go way down. So, that being said, I'm judging and I'm analyzing her for intelligence traits. I've probably already decided that she's physically attractive. Otherwise, I won't even go to this step. But, well, I might approach her just to talk, to get some new insight, because that could be valuable too. But I probably already figured out that she's attractive. She probably already meets my qualifications for intelligence in a girl, in my case, a girl. So the ENTP or me is probably going to start thinking about approaching her from across the room now, or from pretty large distance, pretty considerable distance. They're probably going to be thinking about what they can say to introduce themselves, and they're probably going to casually go up and introduce themselves. They're probably not going to be too terribly awkward, although this probably would depend on the individual. They're probably going to be pretty smooth, pretty relaxed, and not over the top about it, like some guys might be over the top about the approach. They're going to probably make it more casual, in other words. Then they're going to approach, and they're going to introduce themselves in a casual manner, not over the top. And they're probably it just depends on the situation. They may make a joke or something like that, or they may just introduce themselves and just ask a mentally stimulating question and whatnot. And that just depends on the girl. Once again, once you've judged her to be a certain way, you can then kind of change your introduction accordingly. So once we've introduced ourselves, probably most other ENTPs, I know I am anyway, I love to flirt, and I think most ENTPs actually have the potential to be like the best players ever. I think that we could possibly, I think we all have the potential to be pickup artists, players. I think that most immature ENTPs especially they lack the self-discipline, rather, to stop themselves from being very manipulative towards other people, girls in general, or girls especially, other people in general. ENTPs can, I think we all have the potential, even the mature ones, if we're in a bad mood or whatever, or going through a hard time, to be manipulative, especially towards girls. So, with that being said, there goes my train of thought. Anyway, yeah, that's where I was. Okay, flirting. Flirting as an ENTP, I think we have a lot of social intelligence, and because of that, we seem to be very good at flirting and picking up on social cues and body language. Because of that, we tend to be more flirtatious, especially around girls we like, and me especially. Excuse me. I especially love flirting, and I love the way it's like a game. It's deeper than small talk, but it's not like a really deep conversation. So you can have fun and just kind of let go and be your extroverted self. I don't know how to describe it. I just love flirting. I don't know if all ENTPs are that way. I can tell you I am. It'd be nice if any ENTPs that might watch this kind of leave a comment and explain whether or not you are a very flirtatious person or not, or good at flirting in general or not. Because I'd like to see if there's any real significant differences between me and people of my personality type group, which would be ENTP. So, like I said, we're flirting. Everything's going good. If we like you, we're still talking to you, bottom line. And it's not going to be small talk. It's either going to be mentally stimulating conversation, which might be strange, because most people tend to think that the stimulating conversations are like, they're not typical. You know, most people are making small talk, while the ENTP is actually trying to find something out about the person he's talking to or she's talking to. We're trying to experiment. We're constantly trying to experiment. We're constantly trying to play with systems. So we're probably trying to find out more about you in some way or another. So our flirting, me personally, with flirting, it's usually about making the girl that I'm interested in laugh, because I realize I respect the importance of laughter. I mean, it signals that there is no danger. I mean, on a more primal definition or more primal explanation of laughter, is that it just signals that there's that everything's all good. So that's why humans naturally crave laughter. But that's kind of me going off on a tangent. So I love to entertain. I don't necessarily love to be the center of attention, but when I'm talking one-on-one with a small group of people, I kind of like to not really moderate, but kind of like to spur the conversation in certain ways to make it more lighthearted, or just lighthearted in general, and make people laugh. I just like to make people laugh. So the girl is probably, I'm probably as an ENTP going to be trying to make her laugh, or if she's a more serious person, maybe I'm trying to mentally stimulate her. Maybe I'm asking her deep questions. But bottom line is, I'm going to be flirting if I'm talking to a girl I like. I'm not going to be asking her about the weather. I'm not going to be asking her about just really shallow stuff. It's going to be deeper than that. So that's really, at that point, if the girl that I'm interested in has any social intelligence whatsoever, she's probably going to pick up on the fact that I'm interested in her. And that's really the end of the whole how to tell if the ENTP is interested in you or not. It may go different for other ENTPs. Like I said, I can only speak on behalf of myself. I don't think I've ever met another ENTP, but I can give you hopefully some insight into how I work, and hopefully that's the same or similar to the way that other ENTPs work. And with that, I just kind of wanted to, I guess I'll go into detail, or I guess I'll explain briefly about some of the things that ENTPs have been known to find attractive. ENTPs find probably the most important trait to an ENTP is intelligence. And that doesn't mean pseudo-intelligence. That's not good grades, a good job, and lots of money. Those are signals of intelligence, but signals can be faked. So if you're faking intelligence, you may have the best grades in the world, but if you don't have if you've never had an original thought, or can't keep up in a conversation, or can't debate your opinions, If you can argue for your opinions, they're not actually yours anyway, and we'll know that, and we'll know that you're just really shallow and you just believe anything that anybody tells you. And we don't want a girl like that. We don't want a guy like that, or whatever sex of ENTP you are. But where was I going? Okay, so the intelligence trait is very important. We don't like the pseudo-intelligence. We like a deeper, raw form of intelligence that is that's a pretty universal thing. That's a pretty universal thing for ENTPs, I think. I've heard it said enough times by enough ENTPs online to kind of conclude that is universal. Okay, so, and I can personally say that, yes, to me as an ENTP, intelligence, pure intelligence, is very, very attractive. So that is one thing that's very attractive to ENTPs. Another thing that I wanted to bring up before I end this video is that I think there's a very I think the MBTI community has been misguided as far as relationships between MBTI. People have as far as I think the MBTI community has been misguided by someone who came up with a theory that, let's see how to word this, by someone who came up with a theory that you need to look for your complementary type for a long-term relationship. I think that does make sense to me. I understand why you would think that, but then I don't think it applies to a lot of the MBTI community and a lot of people in general. I think that similar or the same personality type or types of I think that the same people of the same personality type or a similar personality type can have a, in some ways, better relationship than those of the complementary types. Like, for instance, they say that I, as an ENTP, or others as an ENTP, should look for, I think it's either INTJ or INFJ for a long-term relationship. And I just wanted to say that I think that only applies to that only applies to immature versions of ENTPs or any other personality type. The complementary type, their argument is that because you're complementing each other, you're going to grow. Well, the thing is, if you're growing by yourself, if you understand yourself and how you work to begin with going into a relationship, which you should anyway, because it's better for both of you if you do, if you're not relying on the other person for growth. To an extent, that's okay, but I think that if you're relying entirely on your significant other for growth, then you're probably going to ruin that relationship and possibly the other person for a very long time. You're going to scar them. But where was I? Yeah, the complementary types only apply to the immature, the people who need someone else to grow, because they haven't done that themselves. They haven't grown themselves before entering a relationship. In that case, if you need if you need someone else to spur you on and kind of start the ball rolling as far as self-growth is concerned, then yeah, by all means, go find a short-term fling with a complementary type. But I think in the long run, if you're in a relationship with someone of the same or similar type, then it's going to be so much easier because you already have a head start at understanding how each other works, how each of you works. And that is important in a relationship. To understand your partner, to understand your significant other, is very important. And I think that this is overlooked. I think that a lot of people take this complementary type thing like they need to find this type and only this type. I think that looking only for that certain type is a bad idea, and I don't believe people who tell me that I need to find that complementary type. I think that, like I said, in dealing with two mature people of the same or a similar type, you can probably, the logic is there anyway, that you can have a long-lasting, very satisfying relationship with that person, even if they're not your complementary type. But yeah, I just wanted to rant about that for a little bit to clear that up. I don't know who started that theory of the complementary type, but I know that it is widely accepted among the MBTI community, and I just think that it's wrong for a lot of the MBTI community. So, I think that's all I had to say. Yeah, so hopefully this gave you some new insight into the ENTP mind. Hopefully this was applicable to all ENTPs, or at least they're similar to me. If it's not, if you're an ENTP watching this, then just shoot me a comment and I will get back to you on that. And because I want to see if there's any significant differences between me and other ENTPs, because I feel like there could be, but I just want to know. I don't know. I like learning about myself and people similar to me. I don't know. And if you're curious to see if an ENTP likes you, hopefully this cleared that up. I mean, a lot of it was self-explanatory, but maybe there was some new morsel of information that you could use potentially in here somewhere. And yeah, hopefully I'll be making more videos in the future, just kind of talking about myself and my experiences, and kind of providing hopefully some new information to people who are interested in ENTPs, and hopefully ENTPs can relate to this, so they don't feel alone, because I know I did for a long time. And yeah, thanks for watching. Like I said, comment if you have any questions, concerns, and thanks for watching. See ya.